Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are all well. Thank you for clicking on this video. So in today's video, I'm going to show you how to create this shimmery eyeshadow look. Honestly, for me, when it comes to elevating your makeup game, you need to know how to do a shimmery eyeshadow. It doesn't have to be too complicated, just basically some neutral shades and a shimmery eyeshadow. This look is perfect for so many events. If you want to just elevate your look, not just do that neutral, natural eyeshadow look every time you go out, but you want like a pop of color. Honestly, the shimmery shade, you can use other shades there. You don't have to use a gold, you can use different colors and it just changes your makeup look. So I hope you guys like it. You learned something on how to create this eyeshadow look, and let's get into it. Okay, before we get into the eyeshadow look, I want to mention that I've already prepped my eyes. It's so essential for a good eyeshadow look to prep your eyes. And these are the products that I used. I used the P. Louise base in Rumour 6, and I mixed it with my concealer in Praline 6.3N from Huda Beauty. I mean, if you don't have a eyeshadow base, then you can just use your concealer. It doesn't really matter, but make sure you set it really well. I use some powder just to set that all in so nothing is moving, because my eyelids do crease. So I want to make sure everything is locked before I start my eyeshadow. Before we get into everything else, these are the products that you will need to create the eyeshadow look. You're going to need some eyeshadow brushes. For the transition color, you're going to need a fluffy eyeshadow brush. This brush is an M441 from Morphe. This is good for transition shades and for deepening colors in the crease. You're also going to need a brush that packs eyeshadow into the lid. Also, if you like applying eyeshadow down here, a small brush like this is so key. And you also need a brush for more detailed work. If you want a small concentrated amount of color in a certain area, you need a smaller, denser brush. This is more fluffier, this is more denser. So they have two different roles, but if you only have one brush, you can still make it work. And for today's shimmery eyeshadow look, I'm using my Shades of London palette in number 1. I think that's what it's called. I always get the name wrong, but I'm using this palette, and that's all you need to create this shimmery eyeshadow look. So let's get into it. For my transition shade, I'm going to use these two colors. I love the warmth of these two colors. This reminds me of that shade in that Jackie Aina collab with ABH. I love this color. Can you see, like, I've used it so much? But these two colors, I'm going to use it for my transition to help start the eyeshadow look. I'm just going to place the eyeshadow brush at my crease, and I'm going to start to blend in circular motions. I'm just keeping it in my crease. I'm not taking it higher. The brush will help diffuse and blend the product. I don't have to do too much. I don't have to bring it up. I don't have to bring it lower. The brush will do the work for me. All I need to do is blend in circular motions. Taking the same shade on my other eyelid, and I'm just gonna work it into the crease. This is how you start any good eyeshadow look, is by building your transition color in the crease. Just working it in, it gives you that foundation for your eyeshadow look. Remember, I'm not bringing it any higher, I'm not bringing it any lower. I'm just swirling it into my crease. I like how that looks. I want to build it a little bit more. I want to bring it slightly further into my nose and to diffuse it even more on the outer edge. Just building up with more color, just bringing it in here and just diffusing on the edges, so it doesn't just look so abrupt when you turn your face. It looks pretty great looking straight in, but you need to make sure that it's fully blended out everywhere. Eyeshadow takes a bit of work to learn and to practice, but it's not that hard. You just need to know the techniques and you'll get the hang of it. To give my crease a little bit more depth, I'm gonna use the same brush, and I'm gonna take this darker shade and begin to slightly deepen my crease. I'm doing this because when I use deeper colors, everything blends in a lot more seamlessly. So you don't see a lighter color here, a darker color here. Everything just blends from deeper to lighter, from deeper to lighter, if you guys get what I'm saying. So can you see how this shade has nicely deepened the crease? I want to even take some of that towards the edge. Doing the same thing on the other eyelid. I really want to get more eyeshadow palettes. I only have one. I got rid of my old eyeshadow palettes that I had a lot more colors so I could do different looks. I only have this neutral palette now, but I really want to get more palettes so I can do different colors, experiment. But for now, I just have this one. But this eyeshadow palette has really seen me through for different looks. Next, for the look, to deepen the outer edge of my eyes, I'm going to take these two shades and gently pat it in to the outer corners. So I'm just going to gently pack this deeper shade into the outer corner of my eyes, just keeping it quite low and not too high. I'm going to use my other brush to then blend and diffuse it. Can you see, just gently packing it in to the lower part, not taking it too high, and just keeping it to the outer corner and not bringing it too far in. So just gently packing that in. This palette has a lot of pigment. If I hadn't primed my lids, you wouldn't see this color pay off. Now I'm going to use this dense brush to lightly diffuse this darker shade. I'm going to just gently start to buff around the eyeshadow. I'm being very careful not to bring it too high. I'm just lightly sweeping this brush on my lid. You need to keep it nice and tight, nice and low. That's how you make sure that you nicely transition all your shades. Hope this makes sense. I'm going to do the same for this side. I'm just going to lightly buff it and slightly bring it in, not too much. You just got to keep going at it. I think sometimes when we do eyeshadow or when we do our makeup in general, we tend to rush. We tend to not give ourselves enough time. And if we did, our makeup will come out a lot better. So like, for example, if you struggle with your eyeshadow, you just need to give yourself time. Get the right products, the right brushes, give yourself enough time, and you can do really good eyeshadow looks like the professionals. Now I'm going to go back with my fluffy brush. This is really the star product to really diffuse this darker shade even more. I'm going to take this shade again to gently buff out the darker shade. So I'm just going to use it to buff out the edges of this darker shade to make sure that it looks even more seamless. You don't want to go in with that initial transition shade because it won't blend as seamlessly. Okay, let's get into the fun part, the shimmer. If you've noticed, I've left this part of my eyelid blank, and that's where we're going to apply the shimmer shade. Honestly, doing a shimmery eyeshadow is so easy. It's about building up the crease, one, the outer edge of your eyes, two, thirdly, leaving the inner portion of your eyes blank so you can apply the shimmer shade. And that's it. That's how everyone does it on TikTok, YouTube, everywhere. Now I'm thinking what shade to use. This gold one or this like champagne-y one? I think the gold. Using the same shade of brush, not a different one. I'm going to just gently pack some of this eyeshadow onto the brush. And then I'm going to just tap the excess on my hand. And then I'm going to just gently press the eyeshadow onto the inner portion of my lid. Whoa. Can you see that? Just bringing it in a bit more. Applying on my other eyelid too. Just very simple. Just packing slowly into my lid. You don't want to do too much because you don't want to have that much fallout. Again, it's all about blending. So I'm just going to go back into the crease and just blend out these edges. Just blending out so that everything is seamless. Doing the same on the other side. Just making sure everything is seamless. And that's all the eyeshadow you need to use the techniques, the steps to create a shimmery eyeshadow look. And now I'm going to take my transition shade and just run it on my bottom lash line. For me, this step just completes the look. I just love putting eyeshadow here. I don't know, not everyone does it, but I like to do it. I think it just nicely completes the look. And if I've gone too far with my eyeliner, I can just erase it with the eyeshadow. And that's it. And this is the finished look. This eyeshadow look is perfect for so many things: events, weddings, birthdays, you name it. Shimmery eye is a great way to elevate your look. I hope you guys liked it. Let me know in the comment section what video you would like to see next. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I see you in the next one. Bye guys.